Welcome to Nerd Index. Today we're going to be doing a book review of Beneath These Cursed Stars by Lexi Ryan. So going into this, I knew the book was by Lexi Ryan and I had enjoyed her duology, These Hollow Vows, but I hadn't read it in such a long time that I didn't even realize that this book was a sequel, just from Bree's sister's perspective instead. I hadn't recognized the name Jocelyn, and because I get my book information from Goodreads, I went into this expecting two things. One was that this would be a new fantasy book from her, and two was that this would be a standalone, because Goodreads has it marked as its own book. It is not marked as part of a series, which is also surprising because now that I've finished reading Beneath These Cursed Stars, I've learned from the end pages that she is already contracted for the sequel to be called Between These Broken Hearts, even though it's not listed on Goodreads, so you can't mark it as want to read. After further research, I found that Lexi had posted about this being a duology and about the next book being available in 2025 on her Instagram, so I guess it's on me for not researching more in depth. Even the synopsis is written in a way that made it hard for me to tell that this was going to be a sequel set in the same world as it reads. From New York Times best-selling author Lexi Ryan comes a romantic fantasy in which a human princess armed with Death's Kiss and a fae shifter on the run become unlikely allies when a mission to assassinate an evil king collides with a fatal prophecy. Princess Jocelyn has a secret. Armed with an enchanted ring that gives her Death's Kiss, Jas has been sneaking away from the palace at night to assassinate her enemies. Shapeshifter Felicity needs a miracle. Fated to kill her magical father, she's been using her unique ability to evade a fatal prophecy. When rumors of evil King Mortius's resurrection spread through the Shadow Court, Jocelyn decides to end him once and for all. Felicity agrees to take the form of the princess, allowing Jas to covertly hunt Mortius and starting Felicity on the path that could finally take her home. While Jocelyn teams up with the charming and handsome Kendrick, Felicity sets out to get closer to the wild fae king Misha. Kendrick helps Jocelyn feel something other than anger for the first time in 3 years, and Misha makes Felicity wish for a world where she is free to be her true self. Soon the girls' missions are at risk right alongside their hearts. The future of the human and fae realms hangs in the balance as fates intertwine. Between perilous tasks, grim secrets, and forbidden romances, Jocelyn and Felicity find that perhaps their stars are the most cursed of all. Fair warning that from here on there will be spoilers ahead. Felicity ended up stealing the show for me. Her arc of being a shifter and using it for what boiled down to espionage in the wild fae lands was an interesting tool for the story. I also enjoyed her chemistry with Misha, although it was really tarnished by the fact that he thought that she was Jocelyn, but in doing so it made us as the reader feel just as frustrated about it as Felicity did because they couldn't have a true relationship. The way that her magic worked by utilizing the hair of another person and then going to sleep to transform into them was really interesting as well, and being able to gain their memories via the dreams was super cool. I like that we learned piece by piece the whole picture regarding Jocelyn's time in the dungeons equating to this blood magic spell that Mortius is using on her and how ultimately it's going to bring about his resurrection, which we'll have to deal with in the second book. And I definitely wasn't expecting that her fae magic would end up being that she has abilities similar to a phoenix because I really didn't remember seeing anything that foreshadowed that as the answer. I thought it was interesting how Bree said that they suspect Mortius was going to use these powers to place his spirit into Jocelyn's body, but then where does that put the assumptions that the reader was led to make about Krissa? And she's still missing. I was also surprised by the reveal that Kendrick was actually fae, but I guess I should have seen that one coming because they were saying that the Seven are actually fae, so... But I'm really worried about Felicity considering that they left us to believe that she's already been kidnapped by Aerith out of her cell. Either way, we'll just have to wait until presumably summer 2025 to learn the conclusion of this duology.